Our exhibition on slavery in New York really responded to historical discovery, which is really the best way you can think about an exhibition as a history museum. In the 1990s, as part of development of Lower Manhattan, some burial grounds were discovered. They were African burial grounds. And no one had really thought very much about slavery in the North, let alone slavery in New York. And of course, we think of ourselves as such a progressive city that it seemed impossible to many people that we could have had anything in common with the slaveholding Southerners. But in fact, the Dutch brought the first enslaved people to New York in the 17th century. And slavery grew under the British so that during the British colonial period, there were more enslaved people in New York than anywhere else in the American colonies except for Charleston, South Carolina. So extraordinary. If you had been walking around on the streets of New York in the 18th century, first part of the 18th century, you would have encountered one out of every 5 people you encountered would have been enslaved. So slavery had a very important role in the building of New York City, the Wall on Wall Street, the Broadway, which would eventually reach Harlem, ironically, and so much else in early New York was literally built by enslaved people. And it left an imprint. Among the first public schools to be developed were the African free schools that people like Alexander Hamilton and John Jay developed because they envisaged a time when slavery would end in New York and the children of enslaved people would need to be educated. So, so there was just such evidence that slavery had played an exceedingly important role in the history of New York City, but New York State writ large, that it seemed inevitable that an institution like ours should tell that story.